It finally happened. They finally found a way to do it. They finally found a way to stop the Gojo Effect. And you may be asking yourself, Gojo Effect? What is the Gojo Effect? And don't worry, I'll go ahead and explain it to you. The Gojo Effect is when anyone has the slightest inconvenience and they call up Gojo to come solve the problem. You're losing a fight? Call Gojo. You're in a life or death situation? Call Gojo. You lost your cat yesterday and you still can't find him? Call Gojo. And if you watched my last video, you would know I'm the #1 Gojo glazer, but even me, at this point, it's getting kind of ridiculous. When did this show all become about Gojo? We are now 9 episodes into the 2nd season, and at least 7 to 8 of those episodes have all revolved around Gojo as the main character. They either involve showing how powerful Gojo is, Gojo's backstory, or just showing off the Gojo Effect that I mentioned. Well, that was until this most recent episode where it's looking like they're gonna pull the rug on us and the Gojo Effect will be no more and someone else is gonna have to step up to the plate, and hopefully it's Itadori. Because based off the most recent episode, Gojo might be going to the Shadow Realm. Before I get into all that though, I'm gonna quickly get us up to speed because like I said off that last video, I'm kind of behind. So we finally reached the Shibuya incident arc, one of honestly the most hyped up anime arcs going on right now. I'm not gonna lie though, I read a couple chapters of the Shibuya incident last year and I had to put it down because I wanted to see this strictly animated in the anime. But pretty much what's going on right now is all the curses in Ghetto have devised this master plan on Halloween night to get all the humans trapped in a veil. And it's all happening in Shibuya, which is why it's called the Shibuya incident. Yeah, it's not the best arc name. Some humans can see the veil and they're like, why is this up? And then other humans are just like, why can't I walk out of this? And I will continue to say this every video until it makes sense to me. The JJK power system is too complicated. I don't understand it. Half the humans can see the veil, the other half of the humans can't see the veil. Honestly, I'm kind of over the whole thing. If it makes sense to you, leave it in the comments and explain it to me. Maybe I'm just slow, but I don't understand it fully. And whenever there's a problem, even if it's a slight inconvenience, you know who they're gonna call up. So everyone's waiting around like, where's Gojo? Who is Gojo? When is Gojo coming? And think about it now, if you're a human and you're asking about where is Gojo, your life is probably in top tier danger and you don't even know it. The second Gojo's name is called though, it's like he saw the Gojo signal in the sky because he pulls up and walks through the veil. And why does everything Gojo does have to be so swaggy? Like, why did he have to come in here like this, bump into bro? Like, oh, you talking about me? I'm here, I was just waiting for y'all to call for me. Like, bro, Gojo, it's not that deep. Now, while I did say Gojo has felt like the main character of this season, they did give some love, a little bit of love to the actual MC this season, Itadori. Cause he's teamed up with Mei, which is a W, but honestly, I don't know if this was supposed to be her little brother or not, but their entire relationship, yeah, it's giving me a weird vibe. I'm not messing with it at all. Made me feel like I was watching a different kind of anime genre for a second, and it made me a little uncomfortable. But you know what? It's whatever, we move past that. For Itadori to be the MC, he sure doesn't get the MC treatment, cause his first fight back in what feels like years, what has been years, he's fighting a giant grasshopper. Like, I get it, the whole point of this fight was to show us how strong Itadori's actually gotten so far, but it just didn't feel like it. Like, sure, he beat the grasshopper with ease, but I never really felt like he was in danger. Like, the grasshopper never really felt like it was that strong or even a threat at all. Truthfully, it reminded me of when we get introduced to Majin Buu in Dragon Ball Z for the first time. He was fat and goofy and he really wasn't that scary, but then he started dog walking people and turning them into candy and eating them, and we knew he was the real deal. That kind of seemed what they were aiming for, and if it was, I mean, they completely missed the mark on that one. Because they did not set up this giant grasshopper to show me that he was actually like that. Just look at the actual fight. Like, look at these punches they were trying to throw each other. It looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost was trying to step in between them and stop them like, hey everybody, we're all good. And like I said, the whole point of this fight was to show how strong Itadori had gotten, and well, they did that when we see Itadori playing with the grasshopper's guts. And I'm not even pausing on that this time. I'm tired of saying pause every single video. This time, if I say something sus, it's sus. It is what it is. But now it's time for the real star of the show to shine, Gojo. I wish that was actually the case though, because I just honestly don't know how Gojo plans to pull this one out. And Geto already lost to Gojo once in JJK 0. Geto's not gonna spin the block and take another L. And if we're being honest, the only reason he lost in JJK 0 was because of Yuta. Yuta had to pull out the plot armor and save Gojo, which was a first. So in round 2, I think Geto has just had to have planned for every outcome possible to ensure that we're sending Gojo to the Shadow Realm this time with no return. And it didn't help when we see the plant monster and Volcano Head standing confidently to face Gojo. Like, they've already seen what Gojo can do. They've both been dog walked by him multiple times, but they're seeming awfully confident that they're gonna win this. Especially with Volcano Head. He got one of the most brutal, disrespectful beatdowns in fuck that, in all of anime, but he was standing there confident that he was gonna beat Gojo with some support? Yeah, all right, let me see then. But I will give Volcano Head and the plant thing their flowers, because there's not a lot of people alive that can say they went toe-to-toe with Gojo and lived.
You're lucky to be alive right now.
And I know it's a lot of Gojo haters out there all preying on his downfall, but can we stop for a second and, glaze him for a second for this next scene? Like, this man Gojo is so powerful, he has to do all of his missions alone, because any other sorcerer, if they tagged along with him, they would bring him down and honestly just get in his way. Is that not worth a little respect? I mean, come on. The man's biggest weakness is he's too powerful, and well, Geto is actually about to exploit that. Because Geto's whole plan pretty much revolves around bringing in humans around Gojo, so Gojo can never go full strength. And if Gojo does end up going full strength, well, he'll end up killing innocent people that don't deserve to die. So now Gojo's kind of trapped in a corner and he doesn't have a lot of options. He has option A, which is slaughter everyone, human or curse, and just murder them all. Option B, he cannot go all out and the curses will probably end up dog walking him if he does that. Or he can just do option C, which is beat Gojo. And I think that choice is pretty obvious which one he did. So he pulls down the blindfold, lets the six eyes show, and he lets the curses know if this was y'all's plan, it's kind of disrespectful that y'all thought it was enough to stop me. Do you know who I am? The next episode starts and I thought we were about to see Gojo go crazy, but instead we see like a home movie recording of everyone giving their thoughts on Gojo. Everyone has different opinions on Gojo. Some of the students, they just flat out call Gojo a moron, but it ends with everyone respecting Gojo because none of them want to see him in the 1v1 because they all know Gojo's hands, they're certified. Right after that though, my man Gojo is huffing and puffing. He was looking like me in high school when I used to run that pacer test. I used to always be the last one standing. Watching this though, I genuinely didn't understand who was gonna push Gojo to the limit like that, because when the fight starts, this man Gojo flipped the switch and started going crazy. Because the Gojo we're watching is not the Gojo we're used to. The Gojo we're actually watching feels like the Gojo that fought Toji in the second fight. He's just a complete psychopath. The very first attack this Gojo does is rip off the Volcano Man's arm and then use it to block the plant thing. And this is Gojo's specialty of fighting. The more disrespectful Gojo can get in a fight, the stronger Gojo gets throughout the fight, I swear. And the more this fight progresses, it really just makes me feel like the curses are the good guys, and this is what would have happened if Gojo was actually a villain. Because the way he's toying with them and not even really trying, using only a fraction of his power, it's giving anime villain vibes. I can't help but feel it. And Gojo only proceeds to build upon that when he blasts the plant thing into the wall and kills them, basically turning them into a mural. And the whole time, Volcano Head is threatening to kill innocent humans and Gojo did not care. All he cared about was eviscerating the plant thing into the wall. Then this train pulls up and everyone thinks the day is just saved all of a sudden, but of course, this is Jujutsu Kaisen. Things can never just be that easy. The train is packed from head to toe with humans that got turned into curses by Mahito. And well, they start to just let mayhem loose on the humans. And this really starts to push Gojo because now Gojo has to make a decision to either use his curse techniques and kill humans, or the humans are gonna die anyway. And even Volcano Head can see the struggle that Gojo's going through, but did anyone else notice this scene? Why did they make him laugh at Gojo like this? He looks extra light-skinned and I thought this scene was hilarious. Gojo's not playing with them anymore though and unleashes his ultimate technique, Domain Expansion Infinite Void, which I honestly forgot about because we haven't seen it since, well, early in the first season, and it just reminds us Gojo's bag, it's deep. He used this technique for 0.2 of a second and killed over 1,000 curses. They really tried to make us think that the curses were the ones maxing out Gojo at the start of this episode. No, the only one that can max out Gojo is Gojo. And I know there's gonna be some power scalers watching this video. I need y'all to let me know, how fast was Gojo moving to be able to do this? Because it had to be light speed. Then we cut to this little Rubik's Cube on the ground and Gojo's not having it. He's ready to just turn around and dip out and leave. I don't blame him though. I was taught if something doesn't look or feel right, remove yourself from the situation, because if you don't, that's when the bad things happen. But of course, that's when Geto's big-headed self has to come out and say what's up to Gojo, like he hasn't been gone for years and he's supposed to be dead. Like, you're supposed to be dead, bro. Why are you casually pulling up saying what's up to Gojo like you haven't talked to him in years? I guess Gojo never learned his lesson from the Toji fight though, because he gets caught lacking again and gets trapped when he hears Geto's voice. And Gojo just looks and feels different. Like, this Gojo just got captured. He can't use cursed energy and he just looks so defeated and lost at this point. And he's completely okay with it too. All he wants to know is how is Geto standing in front of him right now when he was supposed to be dead. Sometimes I really forget though, JJK is supposed to be a horror anime. And well, this was a reminder when Geto removes his scalp and all we see is some brain curse is now living inside of him. This is Gojo Satoru we're talking about, the strongest sorcerer to ever live, but he somehow got outsmarted and outplayed by a brain? Are we serious right now? What happened to the Gojo effect? One call, that's all? Gojo's there to save the day? Realistically though, something like this had to eventually happen because like the brain said, Gojo is literally just too powerful. If Gojo's about to go away for this arc, honestly, I'm kinda happy and I hope it gives a lot of the other characters time to shine without relying on Gojo every single week. I hope Gojo's not gone too long though, because if he is, I might start having Gojo glazing withdrawals. I know I have a problem when it comes to glazing Gojo, but it's nothing compared to Mekamaru, who, well, lost his life for being a simp. And you can watch that video by clicking right here.